It's the NBA Live. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First for Utah, pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And in the middle, standing 6'11", 270, the talented scorer and rebounder out of Turkey, the big man, Enes Kanter. And it's Hayward, and it's Favors in at the four-man position. And looking at the Nets, Deron Williams and Joe Johnson at the 1 and 2. And inside, out of Stanford University, a skilled post scorer with tremendous size, the 7-footer, Brook Lopez. Then it's Pierce, and it's Garnett in at the 4.
You know, Utah usually matches up well with Eastern Conference teams because style of play is similar. Both Eastern Conference and the Jazz like to play a grinded-out physical game, and Utah has the bigs and the defensive mentality to thrive in a slower-paced game, and that's why they went 17 and 13 against the Eastern Conference.
And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
On back to the Jazz against the East. Did what they needed to do against the conference as a whole. Winning more than they lost, but they also, Steve, had some key setbacks.
And the big one that I can remember was last year where they had that 4-game road trip to the East Coast. They went 0-4, and that was when they saw their grasp on a playoff spot start to slip away.
Williams, defended by Burke. Johnson can't hit. And it's the Jazz's ball. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Brooklyn. He told me what has pleased him most about his team is how well they are playing together on the offensive end, saying it's playing together on the same page and functioning as a unit instead of as a group of individuals. It's something we hope we can continue. We'll see if that's the case, guys.
Well said, Doris. Thanks. And important in every game, but early on here, guys, we'll be looking out for how they manufacture opportunities.
Well, I know Coach is worried about their shot selection at times, so I'm not surprised at what he had to say.
Steve, I don't know a coach who doesn't worry about shot selection. You talk about something that riles up most coaches, it's seeing their guys taking bad shots.
Here's Pierce. Burks pulls it in. The Jazz have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Hayward, and it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way. And the Jazz making a change here. Williams is checked in. The Nets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Garnett the pass to Bloch. Williams. Pierce attacking, and Bloch kicks to Williams. A three-pointer is right on target. Williams has got 5 points so far.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Burke dishes to Kanter. A jump hook. Burke can't get it to go.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Pierce kicks to Williams. And again, Brooklyn with the triple. Now Burke feeds to Burks. Shot to stop the run. And that does it for the first quarter. Nets lead by 6. Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade as there is more basketball in store. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Nets, what do you guys think?
And I thought the defense was key here for this club. They really tightened up and made it difficult on their opponent.
How about the help on the drives and rotations? I mean, they've really been in sync as a unit. You know, last season for the Nets, high expectations, guys. They were the runaway pick to be the most improved team in the league, and ownership stressed that their goal was nothing less than a championship. They had a bumpy stretch at one point, steadied themselves, but still a third head coach now in the span of a year.
And the foul on Andrei Kirilenko. That's his first foul. The Nets making a switch here. Evans is checked in. We've got 1:18 left in the first half of the game. Clock at 6. Williams against Lucas. Here's Evans, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Yeah, not a lot of meat on his bones. 6'9" and about 200 pounds, but an incredible leaper. He can make the highlight play offensively, and he can really block shots.
Boy, that's for sure. He excels above the rim, Steve. Great leaper, thrill in the crowd, big dunker, all those shot blocks. Fun guy to watch. And when the coaching change was made for the Nets, a lot was made of some of the comments by Darren Williams. Steve admitting that he'd been more comfortable with the offense in Utah.
Well, which is kind of ironic because when he was in Utah, sometimes he complained about the style of play. I think the big thing is for Darren Williams, his teams just have to win, and he has to lead. He's being paid as a superstar, and it's up to him to lead his club, and I think that's what he's trying to do this year.
Here is Lucas. Jason Terry picking up that last basket. Pietrich passes to Rush. Jazz passing it around. Williams kicks to Lucas. Back to Williams. The tray. The rebound by the Nets. Left side, Kirilenko. The basket is good off the assist from Williams.
And their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second quarter.
Well, the lead being maintained will not be a problem if they keep shooting the way they have so far. He worked himself into a really good position there, right near the basket. That's the look he wanted.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Brooklyn ahead. They lead by 7. And
now, brought to you by Sprint.
Good to have you.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
welcome back to New York City, the bright beacon of the Statue of Liberty, lighting up the harbor.
You know, the Nets certainly made a big turnaround last season, guys, going from a team that was in the lottery to a team that finished in the middle of the pack of the playoff race. But you got to wonder if the heavy contracts they have tied their hands going forward.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, guys, Trey Burke was last season's College Player of the Year out of the University of Michigan. He may have been a little disappointed he wasn't picked by the nearby Detroit Pistons, but he was taken a pick later and eventually acquired by the Utah Jazz in exchange for their 14th and 21st picks. Burke said, "I just wanted to go somewhere where I had an opportunity to play right away and make an impact." Guys, he has that in Utah on an organization that's been one of the most winning in NBA history.
A lot for a player his age to carry, but he seems like he's ready. Thanks, Doris. Well, going back to your point with the Nets, Clark, they did get a lot better and have a solid core, but they also have a lot of money tied up, and if they improve, it'll have to be through the draft. But, you know, Steve, I don't see them getting a high pick anytime soon.
Well, particularly not after the big trade they made. You know, getting Pierce and Garnett and Jason Terry, they had to give up 3 picks to Boston in that deal. But this is an organization that has decided to go for it, and they're going to pay a lot of money in salary.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Williams. And stolen by Darren Williams. In transition, here come the Nets. Out of bounds, next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. To the inside, knocked away. Right side, Williams. Back to Johnson. Cross to Pierce. He kicks it to Garnett. Here's Burke. Looking for his first basket still in this one. From deep three-point range. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And we've reached the end of the third. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Nets.
How about the three-point shooting we're seeing so far, guys? Amazing.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by assists throughout the game.
Johnson attacking. The kick out to Pierce. He dishes it to Lopez. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Jazz trail by 9. Ball's knocked loose. And stolen by Darren Williams. And there's the call on Gordon Hayward. That is his first foul of the game.
Tough break for the defense. He took the heat and drew the whistle.
Yep, but when you get there late, that's what happened.
Johnson dishes to Williams. Garnett defended by Kansas. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Burke kicks to Burks. Pass to Burke. And the call will be against Darren Williams. That's his first foul. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. Stolen by Pierce.
Well, that was a superb read defensively. He jumped right into the passing lane the instant the ball left the passer's hand.
Now, it's hard to imagine them not running away with this game if they can continue to shoot the ball like they have been.
Steve, everything is falling for them this half, and they haven't had any empty possessions, scoring on every trip. For the Jazz last season, it really became an issue about the log jam inside. They had 2 established starters in Jefferson and Millsap and 2 young up-and-comers in Cantor and Favors, and there was an expectation that somebody would be moved, but the trading deadline passed, and they were all still there.
Well, you would have thought that the Jazz would have made a deal one way or another, but it was hard for them as they were in the thick of a playoff race at the time, Steve, sort of tied their hands.
Well, if they weren't in that race, I think they might have sent 1 or 2 of those guys out to try to get some more assets for the future. As it was, they ended up losing Millsap and Al Jefferson, so it's incumbent on the young talent in that front court to now develop and really take over.
Offensive rebound. Nets passing it around. Back to Johnson. 3-pointer. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
Just a little bit more for these fans to cheer about as they get ready to celebrate the win.
Well, they can already start to celebrate, Steve, and they should let their team hear it. They were good.
Now, here's Burke. Defense is right there. Favors passes to Cantor. Just 5 on the clock. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Can you hear the crowd kind of murmuring? I don't think they agreed with the officials on that one.
Steve, I tell you what, they're really letting them have it.
And so it's